Hey folks, before we get started today, do me a favor. I want you to look around the house or the office or wherever it is you are watching the show today. You see a lot of stuff sitting around that's just piling up and you're thinking someday I'm going to get rid of this and someday never comes. Well, guess what? Someday might be here today. Pay attention. We're going to be talking junk removal and all that entails right here on All In. The name of the company we're chatting with today is G.I.HAUL of ATX. That's Austin, Texas, for those of you not in the know. And my guest right here in the studio with me, Fernando Galvan, right here on the show. Fernando, welcome. Good to see you.
Thank you, sir, for having me.
All right, before I get started, Marine vet. All right, that's a big deal to us here on the show. Everybody, I mean, thank you for your service. Anybody that did what they did so I can sit here and do what I do is okay by me. We appreciate that.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate the support.
Thank you so much. So you finished the deal in the Marine world. And then, like so many soldiers getting back into the workforce, there's different directions to go and whatnot, but you were able to kind of keep the Marine ties alive by what you're doing now. Go into that. Talk to me about G.I.HAUL and how that started.
Yes, sir. So I really didn't know what I was going to do. I'm actually retiring this year, and I've looked at several different things. And I was actually on Facebook, and G.I.HAUL had popped up, and I was looking at other franchises at the time, so I clicked on it. I sent an email to David, and he called back within like 20 minutes. We chatted, and I flew out to Pittsburgh, and I liked their business model. They showed me what they're about, and I joined the team.
And here you go. You know, we talk all the time here on the show about how different people get into business in different ways. The franchise route is pretty interesting, you know, because they've already done a lot of the legwork. It's not like starting from scratch. Quite honestly, a lot of times, I don't know in this particular case or not, but the person who started the franchise business has already made a lot of mistakes and corrected them and gets to this point to where you don't have to start and make the same mistakes. You can learn from that and get involved with an established business. Is that the way you rolled with you?
Yes, sir. So a lot of things they're actually teaching us and sharing. We have conference calls once a week, and they give us their experiences and stuff like that. Each individual area of operations is different, so we have our own, I guess, battles, if you will. But they definitely have a lot of experience in it and kind of mentor us with the junk removal.
So how long have you been on board now with Austin with your place?
I officially started 1 December.
Good for you. So back in December, rolling into the new year now, 2021. How's it going so far? The first question is, like with any business, just starting off, how do you get customers?
So advertising, that's a big thing. We're marketing and advertising the brand. Since it's not very well known in Texas, we're working on the marketing portion of it. So that's the biggest thing: Google Ads, Facebook, Instagram.
Well, you already have one thing that's really in your favor, a lot of things, but one in particular from a business standpoint, everybody's got junk.
Yes, sir. Everybody has junk.
Everybody's got junk. And we all, for the most part, we don't want to do anything with it, and that's why we have so much junk. It just piles up. But then you come on board, but let me ask you, do you take care of residential stuff as well as commercial? Do you get into offices as well, or are you strictly residential, or junk is junk in your business?
Junk is junk, so residential, commercial, we pretty much deal with everything except for hazmat.
Yeah, well, that's a whole different ballgame.
Yes,
maybe someday. We'll worry about that one next time. Well, let's bring it on back away from the hazmat stuff right now. But yeah, everybody does have junk. And so you and your crew, you show up, and that my first question is, and I'm just curious as a consumer, where does it go when you pick it up?
So I work with the Veterans Administrator in Austin to donate to veterans.
Good for you.
So I have a lot of stuff that we're working on. Each individual site has organizations that they're working with as well. Some of it will go to landfill, but if we can recycle boxes, metal, we'll recycle it.
So even as a businessman, as a Marine, you work within the community with other veteran organizations because you're comfortable with that.
Yes, sir, and giving back.
Yeah, giving back. I mean, that's what everybody should do. Just keep giving back to the community in whatever role that may be, but in your case, to a veteran community. I mean, you would even give to a Army organization?
Yes.
Good for you.
And veteran is a veteran. Yeah.
A veteran's a veteran. In my book, that's absolutely the case. So do you have a bunch of trucks, or, I mean, what's the process? You're not taking my Honda and loading it up with stuff.
No. So right now I have one truck. It's a dump truck. So it's like it's a Suzu or Chevy type dump truck. So it's that's basically what we're using right now.
Well, and that's fine, you know, and it's not just you. Are you one-man show right now, or do you have anybody working with you?
Actually, I have one employee, Ryan, that helps me out. So it was my wife at first helping me, but some of the stuff she just can't do, so Ryan's helping me out and my employees.
Well, good. I'm sure she has her own role to
She does. She helps out with the business as well, yeah.
Well, that's the important part, you know. Somebody's got to pay the bills. Yeah. You know, we always talk to entrepreneurs, too. The first time you get into business, I mean, you read about the franchise, you're passionate about it, you're ready to go, and all of a sudden you're a business owner. Did a lot of stuff come flying at you maybe you never thought about before that you're having to struggle through?
Yes, the marketing,
Sure.
taxes, just setting up everything. It was definitely different than what I've done before, but I love the challenge and continue to push forward.
Well, and also the fact that you went with a franchise, that probably helped a little bit. They probably might have some answers for you to help you out with the business aspect of the thing, as far as handling stuff that nobody thinks about before they get into business.
Yes, sir.
So, good place to lean on.
Yes.
So where do you see this thing going? I mean, you've been rolling around now for about a couple, 3-4 months. Do you have plans in the future? You just want to kind of see where it goes, but if you were to sit back, in a perfect world, do you plan on expanding your market? What is your market right now?
So it's all of Austin and the surrounding areas.
Well, that's
It's
pretty good size right there.
So we're all over Austin and Georgetown, Pflugerville. So we're out there. I'd like to have another truck by the end of next year, but I'd like to see 4 or 5 trucks in the Austin area.
There you go. And just every time the truck's on the street, that's more marketing.
Yes. It's a billboard riding around.
It's a riding around billboard. And it's the type of thing, too, people don't realize that business is out there.
Yes.
I mean, I look at friends, not me, because I have a little house, but I look at friends with a garage full of stuff where they can't even get the cars in there anymore. And it just keeps going, and they don't want to move it. And sometimes people, you run into this, people develop a sentimental attachment to junk that really doesn't mean anything except to them, and they just can't make themselves get rid of it. So it just keeps piling up more and more and more.
Yes, sir. As we'll walk through the garage, I want this, and I'm like, well, maybe this. And so, yes, I've seen it.
Yeah, leave that one.
Yeah. I'm not sure about that. We'll see.
Had that one for 30 years, but yeah, I'll take this one over here.
Yes.
And I'm guessing starting 1 December, Christmas time rolled around. Was there a lot of boxes and stuff that people were piling up, or?
Just after Christmas. So even now, there's a lot of boxes. And I think because of the whole issue with the COVID, there's tons of boxes from Amazon and stuff like that. So we've had a lot of boxes with the last.
I hadn't even thought about that. You're exactly right. There's a whole lot more boxes
Yes.
rolling around the market than there were a year ago.
There's a lot of boxes.
So have you run into situations, you mentioned the COVID deal, you need to be cautious. Are you going inside of people's homes too?
We are.
Okay.
So we'll wear booties. We have hand sanitizer. We have gloves as well. So and then the mask. So we'll make sure we're in compliance with that.
Well, yeah, you need to take care of yourself and take care of your clients as well, and they appreciate that. One thing I've always noticed about little kids, they get a kick out of seeing big trucks. Is it pretty cool to them when you come rolling in?
Yes, and I have a 3-year-old son. And he loves it.
So you know,
So yeah,
right?
he sits on the passenger to drive around with me when they're getting gas or something like that. So
Yeah.
yeah,
They love
it.
stuff.
They love it.
Well, it's going to be the same thing with your clients, though, as you go rolling in, getting it with them. Well, I think it's just fascinating that you've done this. And you did can I ask, without any specific names, when you were trying to figure out franchises, did you look at another direction in different industries or anything, or immediately you went this way?
I did. I looked at several different, from like appliances to cement. So several different things that I looked at. But I just liked when I spoke with David, how he talked about the company, the involvement with the community when I went out there, their business model. So I knew that I wanted to be a part of that team.
Is David a veteran too?
Yes, he is. He's a Marine.
Veterans helping veterans.
Yes,
Yes.
and that's what it's all about. Veterans, increasing veteran ownership is what the overall mission of G.I.HAUL is.
Oh, that's outstanding. I love that. When did he get started? Do you know?
2006 timeframe, him and his brother started.
Yeah,
his
from
brother's
Pittsburgh area.
Army, yes. And so they had some deployments in between. 2010 was when they kind of kicked it off officially, and then they started franchise in 2019.
Okay. Are there anybody else in Texas? Or do they have other franchises here in the great state of Texas?
Yes, so if you need junk removal in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, we do have G.I.HAUL up here.
Oh, nice. Okay. And what about Houston? A lot of junk in Houston.
We're hopefully we'll get out to Houston. The focus hopefully is to be in every state. So we're and every major city. So.
Well, who knows? Maybe you'll expand and take on another market. Baby steps. So let's crawl before we can. Let's get the second truck first before we get the second market.
Yes.
Is that?
But you got to think big too. So we're.
You got to think big. But I can tell you're the guy that's going to do it. Because you didn't just jump into this. You did a little research to figure out which direction to go. You went with an established company, veterans helping veterans, like we said, all across the board as well. And as this thing continues to grow, not just in your market, but in other markets, and as the word gets out, I see this thing exploding. Because as I mentioned earlier, we all got junk and none of us want to haul it off. That's what you're here for.
Yes.
Thanks for coming in studio with us today. I appreciate your story. Thank you again for your service and continued success with your new company.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you having me.
Thank you much. Folks, thank you as well. Hope you enjoyed that. Might give these guys a shout. But take care.